Hello, grade 5 students. Mr. Waterman here with today's mathematics lesson late in the day, period 7 for Monday, January 24th, 2022. Yes, we are all online again. I hope everyone is safe and well, and I hope you had a very relaxing weekend, even though studying online can be very, very stressful. But we will get through this like we have the last couple of years. So stay positive and remember, we are at the end of January. Next week will be the beginning of February, and then after that, we'll only have one more month of the school year. Hopefully, we will be back in school before then, so fingers crossed. Okay? Until then, let's get started. So the last few weeks, we have been multiplying decimals. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to go over the answers to last week's homework, and then I'm going to wait for the bell before I continue. Okay, I can never quite time it right. This always happens when I film my videos at school, but okay. So last week, our homework assignment was on page 86 of our homework books, okay? So as a reminder, for multiplying decimals, step 1, you need to just multiply regularly. So we're looking at 0.7 times 0.3, okay? Step 1, ignore the decimal point. So just multiply 7 times 3. That gives you 21. Okay? Then step 2, it says to place the decimal point in the product. The product is, of course, the answer. 0.7, that's one decimal place, times 0.3. 0.3, that is also one decimal place. So we know that in our answer, we will have to move the decimal point over 2 decimal places. Okay? I'm just going to quickly go through the answers because we have an entirely different lesson to go into today. Okay. Number 1, 0.7 times 0.2 gives us 0.14. Number 2, 0.9 times 0.3 gives us 0.27. For number 3, 0.32 times 0.5 gives us 0.16. Number 4, 0.3 times 6.2 gives us 1.86. For number 5, 1.25 times 4.7, that gives us 5.875. Number 6, 0.6 times 5.4 gives us 3.24. Number 7, 2.65 times 0.29 gives us 0.7685. For number 8, 1.52 times 23 gives us 34.96. For number 9, 1.57 times 6.6, that gives us 10.362. For the second part, we needed to compare. Write greater than, less than, or equal. Number 10, 0.4 times 6.1 gives us 2.44. 12.2 times 0.2, that also gives us 2.44. They are equal. For number 11, 3.5 times 1.7 gives us 5.95. 4.6 times 1.8 gives us 8.28. 5.95 is less than 8.28. Number 12, 0.9 times 5.6 gives us 5.04. 2.2 times 1.7 gives us 3.74. 5.04 is greater than 3.74. For number 13, 0.4 times 3.8 gives us 1.52. 7.6 times 0.2 gives us 1.52. 1.52 is equal to 1.52. For the problem solving, Jerome bought there's the bell again. I don't know about you students, but I'm thinking maybe kinda turn the bells off if we're online school and teachers are coming in to make videos for their classes. I don't know. What do you think? Don't you think so? I think so. Okay, let's continue. Jerome bought 1.4 pounds of string beans for 85 cents per pound. How much did he pay for string beans? Well, we need to multiply 1.4 times 85 cents. That gives us $1.19. He paid $1.19 for string beans. And that's it. That's the answers to last week's homework assignment, multiply decimals. We have spent 2 weeks on them, and now we are done with that. Moving us right into, I know pretty much all of you don't have your notebooks, so I'm just going to show you where we're at in the TOC, Table of Contents. We are looking at solid figures today, and I'm going to be working on page 47 of my notebook. We don't have that much more. We're towards the end of the year because we're going to be testing soon. Okay. So I wanted to make this easy for everyone involved. I wanted to make it easy for me. I wanted to make it easy for you. Okay? So all this is this week, I have just scanned the page from the textbook that I'm going to be working with because, let's just face it, we found out we were going online very short notice. Me having to draw all of this out and write it, yeah, you know what I'm going to say. Okay. All right. So this is solid figures, and our objective is going to simply be to identify solid figures. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go through the vocabulary that we are going to be using. Please read along with me. Solid figure, face, edge, vertex, base, prism, pyramid, cylinder. Okay? Now, looking at our learn about it. Most of the objects that you see every day are solid figures. Boxes, cups, cans, and other containers are all examples of solid figures. A solid figure has length, width, height, and takes up space. Let's look here at the first one. Each flat surface is a face. each face is a polygon. Okay? So this part here, that's our first flat surface. That's the face. The faces on the top and bottom are called bases. Okay? Next, the line segment formed where two faces meet is an edge. So here's this part here. Okay? This is where two faces meet. That's called the edge. Okay? So that face and that face are meeting. Next, the point where three or more edges meet is called a vertex. Okay? So always remember, the vertex will be your points. More than one vertex, we call it vertices. Okay? Remember that. Next, a prism is a solid figure that has two parallel congruent bases joined by rectangular faces. Each prism is named by the shape of its base. The pasta box to the right is a rectangular prism, since its bases are rectangles. You can see that pasta box right here. Now, let's look at some solid figures. Please repeat after me. Triangular prism. Rectangular prism. Cube. All faces are congruent, meaning all faces are the same. Pentagonal prism. Now, let's look at some types of pyramids. A pyramid has one base that can be any polygon. All of the other faces are triangles that share a vertex. This first shape is a triangular pyramid. This is the base here at the bottom. This is a square pyramid. You can see the square is the base. Just like in this one, in the triangular pyramid, the triangle is the base. In the square pyramid, the square is the base of the pyramid. The final one, you have a pentagonal pyramid. If you look down here at the base, you can see that it forms a pentagon. We know that a pentagon has 5 sides and 5 angles. Finally, on this page, it says some solid figures have curved surfaces. Let's look at this first shape. This is a cylinder. The bases are here at the top and the bottom, right? Remember, the bases are also the faces. Right here, it has a curved surface, right? That's our edge. Then, if we look at a cone, the cone also has a curved surface. The bases are here. Finally, we have a sphere. The sphere also has this curved surface. Okay? So what I want you to do is to review. Remember, we have a test probably in a couple of weeks, and this will be the last test of the year. Along with multiplying decimals, we will also have solid figures. Please be sure you remember what a solid figure is. Remember that a solid figure has length, width, height, and takes up space. Please remember that each flat surface is a face. The faces at the top and the bottom are called bases. Please remember that the line segment formed where two faces meet is an edge, like right here. Please remember the point where three or more edges meet is a vertex. More than one vertex, they are called vertices. Please remember that a prism is a solid figure that has two parallel congruent bases joined by rectangular faces. Remember that a pyramid has one base that can be any polygon. And remember that some solid figures have curved surfaces. We're going to spend 2 weeks on solid figures, this Monday and next Monday. I have put up the necessary workbook pages that you will need. For today, we're going to look at our practice book. This is going to be on page 112. Please look at the directions. It says, to name each solid figure, then write the number of faces, vertices, and edges. Let's look at a few together. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 is a rectangular prism. Okay? Over here to the side is where I'm going to write the number of faces, vertices, and edges. Okay? So I'm going to say faces, vertices, and edges. Okay? So I'm going to use a few different colors here. All right, I'm going to use black, blue, and red. So I'm going to look at faces first, okay? I'm going to put a black dot here for faces. And let's look at our faces that we have, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side, okay? 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the other side here. So we have 6 faces. For vertices, I'm going to use red. Okay? Vertices, that's our point. Remember? The point where our edges meet. All right, so give me 1 minute here. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Here's 7. And this one on the other side is 8. 8 vertices. Now I'm going to look at my edges. I'm going to use blue. Okay. Bear with me here. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Here's 7. Here's 8. Here's 9 at the top, 10 at the bottom, 11 over here on this side, and 12 on the bottom on that side. So we have 12 edges. Okay. Let's do one more together. We'll do the cone for number 2. I'm going to write it in. C-O-N-E. And I'm going to do that first. Dot, 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 all the way across. Okay. So now I'm going to write my faces. I always like to write vertices, just in case I have more than one, and then edges. Okay. And I'm going to be using black, and then red, and blue again. I forgot to color code those. I'll color code these really quickly. Okay, so for faces, we have 2. 1 and 2. This, and write that in. For vertices, this is it here. That's the point. So we have 1. And then for edges, it's my blue, we have 1 edge there. So we have 2, 1, and 1. Okay? So for practice, what I want you to do is to just complete the rest of these, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you can try numbers 7 and 8 for test prep. Okay? And look around your home. Look at some of the objects that you have at home. What solid figure do you think this is? Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to email Mr. Waterman at any time. Stay safe and well. Okay. Hang in there. I know that this is not ideal for any of us right now, but we are all working very hard and doing the best that we can. Take care, stay safe, be well, and remember to look around your classroom look around your home. There are so many types of solid figures all around you at all times. What are some of the solid figures that you're looking at? Can you count the faces, the vertices, and the edges? Enjoy the rest of your day studying and doing homework. I hope to see you all very soon, students. Bye-bye for now.